let's get into Fast X. We're gonna stay non-spoiler for the first part of this review, and here we go. Alan, you texted me right after you saw Fast X. This is the 10th film in the Fast and the Furious franchise, and it what I do like is the movie does kind of kick off and give you a little bit of context for to catch you up. Although I do recommend watching maybe some videos on YouTube of like, here's all 9 Fast and the Furious movies. Here's what you need to know. Actually, you could just walk into this and not know anything. It's
like me.
Yeah. It's a family who loves to race cars. Michelle Rodriguez is I don't know. I really like her. She's the matriarch of the family. And Alan, just tell us, give us briefly Fast X. What's the plot?
Yes. Do you know what movie I guess the Jason Momoa character is supposed to have come out of?
I forget, but it's they accidentally, well, not accidentally, they killed Jason Momoa's father.
Yeah, and it was the Fast and Furious movie that came out of Brazil. So
right.
whatever that one that was. So basically, Jason Momoa, he's avenging his father's death. He refuses to kill Dom Toretto. He wants to make him suffer. And so that's what this movie is Jason Momoa's character making everyone in Dom Toretto's life suffer in some way. One of them is to send his crew off to do a job that no one knew about, and then they create an international incident where they're being chased out by the Division, where Mr. No One is, or Nobody, whatever they call him, is missing. And his daughter, played by Brie Larson, is now taking over. In order to, a big international event occurs at the Vatican. Michelle Rodriguez, her character, gets captured by the Division. And so now it's just Dom kind of going around the world, saving everybody, meeting everybody who's ever appeared in a Fast and Furious movie. And stunts galore, family. And then the ending, which we won't talk about into spoilers, but the ending really pissed me off. I will say this. I can't say I've ever been a fan of the Fast and Furious series because of what I do. I haven't really started watching it until maybe 3 movies ago. And to me, these are animated movies to me. The danger, the car racing, all that stuff. It's all, I would say 70% of it is computer generated and computer animation. And then I will say this, the movie just got relentless after. How long is this movie? It's close to the 3-hour mark.
No, it's 2:20, I think. 2 hours.
It felt like 3 hours. My God. It's relentless. And then the ending happened. And I'm like, it's like, I'll just put it this way. The movie never ends. It just goes on and goes on. And then when you realize it doesn't end, I was just so pissed off. And it's not like I didn't even know it going in, the nature of this movie. I hate this movie.
Well, okay. I'll just say this. The Fast and the Furious movies are dumb fun. And that's all they are, is dumb fun. I'm more of a fan of Paul Walker because it felt the Paul Walker Fast and Furious movies, the early ones, felt like they were rooted in some reality. They've gone unreal. The last one I thought was just stupid, where they went into outer space. It made no sense. I like the Paul Walker ones because they at least seem like they were trying to be rooted in reality. Now reality's out the window. Nothing makes sense. It's like that Onion video where a child is just playing with Hot Wheels and they interview a child who's like the screenwriter of the Fast and the Furious movies. We should bring up that video. It's ridiculous. And I will say this. The Tokyo Drift is actually my favorite one, which is like a standalone story, kind of outside the universe slightly. Where it's Vin Diesel's not in that one. They're just sort of taking the brand. The Tokyo Drift one is great because it takes place in Tokyo. And it's and
they're drifting.
And it involves drifting. But it felt like real car racing, Tokyo Drift. These movies now, as you pointed out, they're like cartoons. Having said that, it's a fun cartoon. And what made this Fast X work for me is Jason Momoa as the villain is unhinged. To have a Vin Diesel, look, I like his character, Dom, but Dom is kind of boring, which is fine.
Too goody two shoes, basically.
He's very goody two shoes, and you know what? That's great. That's great. But to really bring out the hero in Dom, you need a great villain. Jason Momoa is he is practically like a Marvel or a DC comic book villain. He's painting his nails. He wears these flamboyant outfits. He's just sort of crazy from the death of his father and just wants revenge. The thing that made the movie work for me more than anything was Jason Momoa. And I'll say this too. You know who's really good in this film, which I was surprised? Brie Larson. Brie Larson is really good. She is, in small doses, I like her. She was good in this. I thought she was a really good supporting character. And
yeah. Hey, let me say something about Jason Momoa.
Please.
Wasted, and I'll tell you why. Because Jason Momoa's character in this movie would make a great Bond villain, and they wasted it on Fast and Furious. If you had taken that character, you could make an entire Bond movie just around this character, and it would have been a great movie.
Yeah, God, he's just really good. It's a good Bond.
I will say he is the reason to watch this movie. Absolutely.
100%. It's Jason Momoa knocks it out of the park as the villain in this film. He's just like the little touches, and it must have been, he was like, oh, I get to I'm not the hero. I can just go nuts. As Aquaman, you might be the hero. They say it's really fun to play a villain when actors can play villains because you can behave badly, so to speak.
And he's not sitting back and letting his henchmen do things. I mean, he's right there in the action.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. Is it the greatest movie ever? No. Is it really good for a Fast and Furious movie? Absolutely. So
yeah, absolutely not.
So it's a recommend, not a strong recommend, but a recommend. And mainly Jason Momoa. And the thing is it is 2 hours and 20 minutes, but it flew by pretty quickly to me. It flew by pretty quickly.
No, it just, I came out the exact opposite.
Oh, you did?
It felt like it went on forever. And, people are making Infinity War comparisons. And I think it's true. But the problem is they bring everybody out and it just goes on. And then it just goes on, and then that ending, it just goes on, and I'm like, I will say this: at the first, I'll say act, I was kind of into it. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I like this. And then around at the end of the second act, I'm like, when is this movie going to end? Maybe it's just too much action, too much pointless action, and too much computer animated action. And that's why it just felt relentless to me going near the end.
Well, it didn't bug me all that much. I'm saying, that between Jason Momoa, really amazing action sequences, I enjoyed myself. Like I say, not the greatest movie ever, but it's top tier Fast and the Furious film, and I recommend it.
This is what I was actually thinking about when I was watching the movie. Womp Biscuit says, Cannonball Run greater than entire F&F franchise. It did feel like Cannonball Run about midway through the film.
Yeah, it just got ridiculous. Let's talk about the ending, though.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's the ending that really pissed me off.
Okay, so we're in spoiler territory. We should put that.
And we're not really. This is not a real spoiler, so to speak. It's just the nature of the movie. And I had, when I saw it, I had asked you the question, did you know this was a part one? Because I had no clue this was a part one.
Right.
And if I had known it was a part one, maybe my reaction to it wouldn't have been so angry. But the idea that this movie is going to keep going and I'm going to have to watch more of this, it just really got me pissed off. And and my guess is maybe this part 2 is a Hobbs and Shaw sequel. I don't know if there's going to be a Fast and Furious sequel, but just the fact that they didn't end things, and the feeling of, oh God, I'm gonna have to watch more of this, just really set me off. And that's my visceral emotional reaction to this movie.
Fast and Furious died with Paul Walker. Gonna have to agree with that. But I don't know. I have less interest. I like Tokyo Drift. I like the Paul Walker ones, because here's why the Paul Walker ones were better. They weren't they felt more grounded in reality.
It was actually cars doing stunts.
It was literally, and same thing with Tokyo Drift. Go back and watch Tokyo Drift. There's very little digital, and if there is, it's just much better handled.
Can you imagine if they did those drift stunts CG?
Yeah, it's
there's no danger now in watching it, which, the trademark piece in this last one of the neutron bomb rolling down the streets of Rome. It's like, this is not real, and so there's just no vested interest in this stunt at all.